Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 5 of Europa Universalis IV as France. We're still in the middle of this big war with Burgundy. Things aren't going too great, mainly because we are massively in debt. We basically have no allies, we have very little to no manpower, we are in debt and have no money, our army has been smashed. Our vassals have been ripped to pieces, the AI is cheating as usual, so all in all it is just one big giant mess of things which, you know, you do kind of come to expect after a while in EU4. But I am going to try and turn this around if I can. I'm going to keep my eye on Castile because they did actually offer me... Right, I can call them to arms now, and I am going to do that. Yes, please, come and get involved in this war. So Castile are now involved in this war. Thank you very much. Not too sure how helpful they are going to be. I'm going to cross my fingers and say hopefully very. Renew war taxes. Yes, we are going to have to do that. It's not nice to have to spend military power, but we are that much in debt. It really needs to be done. We're actually starting to reach our admin power cap. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go and invest in the new technology and pick my next lot of national ideas. Should have done that a while ago, actually, because it would have given me a little bit of extra income. We can then go in and choose our first idea. Now, normally, the first ideas that I pick would be one of the militaristic ideas, either offensive, defensive, quality, or quantity. They tend to be the top four. I mean, there's quite a lot of nice stuff that we would like to have ideas-wise as the game goes on. We're definitely going to want to get something like exploration ideas in the future so that we can go ahead and do some colonization. It would also be nice to get some religious ideas because, like I said, France do get an event usually that tries to turn them into reformed, and I'd kind of like to stay Catholic for as long as possible because I'd like to try and do some stuff within the HRE, which is a lot easier if you are a Catholic nation. But you do tend to use a lot of admin points for coring and things like that. I guess religious ideas is always a really, really good one to take, but I don't think we need that straight away. I think what I'm going to do is actually go in to defensive ideas, possibly. Diplomatic idea is probably the worst out of all because I have so many vassals. I'm way over my diplomatic relations limit, and it's going to cost me quite a bit of power to sort of peace out from this war and everything else. So diplomacy points I'm not getting a huge number of, so it's between military and administrative. Although we're not actually taking or coring a lot of provinces, it might well be worth going for religious ideas at this point, because it does give us Des Volt, which is a very nice thing that gives you CBs on pretty much just everybody. A reduction on stability cost modifiers might be the one to go for. We don't have to pick straight the way though, which is the other one. But I'm actually going to go into defensive ideas because that will make it a lot better in the future if Burgundy decide to keep trying to attack us. Okay, so Castile, you do have a few men. You are starting to move forwards. Again, I'm not too sure how useful you are going to be. What I would like to do, and this is a little bit risky, but I would like to go ahead and try and crush some of these rebellions if we can. Now, the last thing I want to happen is for the Burgundian armies to try and attack me while I'm dealing with these rebels, but rebels are quite easy to get rid of, so let's go ahead and get rid of the rebels. It also gives Castile a little bit of time to get involved in the fight. We do have to kind of go the long way around, of course, because Provence still isn't part of our little empire here. Now, where are you going? What are you going to try and do? Right, you're just sitting there on the moors now. So we'll wipe out this rebel stack. And then what we're going to try and do is see if Castile try and take any engagements. They probably will, because Castile play kind of aggressive. They have gone in over there. Unfortunately, I'm now stuck with this flipping rebel stack. But as soon as this war is over, right, that battle's over. Let's go ahead and throw down over... Alright, I can't move just yet because you have to wait a couple of ticks after the battle. Now, Burgundy are going to try and throw quite a few troops in there, and indeed they have done. Some of our vassals are going in. If only I hadn't have been dealing with those rebels, I might have actually had a chance of getting involved in this fight right now. It looks like Castile's going to get defeated, unfortunately. France gets a claim on a load of provinces, but Naples' opinion of us is changed, or Naples have a positive opinion. I'm not going to be taking anything from Naples for quite some time, if I end up taking anything from Naples ever. So let's just have them have a positive opinion of us. We might get something useful from that at a later date. When will we get here? We'll get here on the 11th of November. How long will this fight last? Probably not that long. However, yeah, we still might get there and we'll find the Burgundian army that is already almost shattered. Now that is a massive help. Okay, Burgundian army almost shattered. We are going to try and give chase where we can. I'm going to try and do as much damage to them as possible. Because for the first time in this war, we are actually in a slightly better position. Not too bothered about these few little stacks that are stomping around. They're not going to cause too much of a problem. But I'm going to try and stack wipe the Burgundian forces if we can. Didn't have full morale to start with, so it wasn't necessarily the best fight to just throw down onto. And we did get them. Unfortunately, we didn't get a stack wipe. Not sure where the Castilian army has gone. Maybe they can go ahead and help later on. So let's head on down here. We'll do a quick consolidate as well. Does help us cash-wise, because of course the less units we have, the cheaper it is for us to run. They've all gone into Franche-Comté, which is plains. So we shouldn't have it. There will be a river crossing penalty, but actually, they want to go into there. When are they going to arrive? On the 10th. Let us just stay there. Oh, no, we've actually engaged them before they escaped. They are getting slightly better rolls. I don't think we're going to stack wipe them here. And again, they do have much better base morale. They have much better tactics. Still couldn't stack wipe them, which is really annoying. So we're going to go ahead and sit in their capital and siege that out if we can. We will try and rebuild some of our forces. We still don't have any manpower, but we're going to try and rebuild some of our forces. And at the same time, we're going to go over and try and take Picardy, because we want to try and take as much of the sort of French regions as possible, really. If we actually go and look in the region map mode, which is somewhere in here. Region map mode. So we can see everything that's this sort of pinky salmon colour is part of what we would call modern day France. So from Burgundy, we want to take these 4 provinces here, and we would also like to take Rethel and Picardy. We already have Calais. So there's actually 6 provinces that these guys have that we would like to take. These 4, which is going to be difficult because one of them is their capital. But if we cut it off, it would help. But we also want to try and take Rethel and Picardy. Picardy especially because it gives us an extra coastal province, and it also means that we have a direct connection to Calais and we can walk through there, which is going to be very, very important to us, particularly later on. So Castile are sending up some reinforcements. It's going to take a little while. One of my diplomats is free. Let me just recall this guy from Orleans and send someone to do a little bit of improving relations with Castile, just because we do want to try and keep them on board for as long as possible. I'm sure Burgundy are definitely going to try and reinforce at some point. I'm going to detach a siege, which is a little bit risky. We've got a lot of cavalry here. This is not a good army. We have no front line. So maybe I shouldn't be attacking with this group, although Castile are going in. So, oh no, you stay there because we want to win that siege. We definitely want to siege that out. Right, Castile are going to actually attack. So let me go ahead and jump in there with Castile and help them out. Just because purely I think the numbers will help. Castile are starting to siege some of these provinces out. That's going to help out an awful lot. Looks like Castile's actually got their king in as a leader as well. Okay, we have won that fight. So I'm going to go ahead and move these guys. Let's consolidate again because it'll be cheaper. I'm going to go ahead and move these guys and sit in Picardy. We've got a few things that are about to happen here. War exhaustion is actually very, very high. We could spend some diplomatic power and reduce that. Should have done that quite a long time ago. It's going to be a lot of Diplo power, but let's get that right down. That's pretty much all of our Diplo power spent. But reducing that war exhaustion is going to help us massively. I should have done that a long time ago because it helps reduce national unrest and siegeability and things like that. So also one of the reasons why we had such terrible tactics. At least that is done. We can actually invest in an idea. So we could spend 400 military power and gain +1 yearly army tradition, and that is not a bad thing to have at all. It would be nice to get another tech, but Burgundy is still on military tech level 4. We're actually military tech level 3, so we are slightly behind, but once we're out of the war, that will speed up quite nicely. The fact that we've got Castile in this war with us now is really going to help things out. If we could have got them in from the beginning, it would have made things much, much better. I'm going to go up to speed 3, mostly because what we're doing now is waiting for sieges to complete and stuff like that. Castile's mainly going to be going around and dealing with some of these battles. I think Castile are going to win that fight. I hope Castile are going to win that fight. It looks like they should be. Yep, Castile did in fact win that fight. I would still like to get some more soldiers, but I simply do not have the money to do it. Minus 25% local land maintenance modifier for 5 years. Yes, definitely. Now actually making some positive bank. Unfortunately, our king's died as well, which isn't good. Our new king is a 4-3-2 leader, which is not bad at all. And the heir's not bad either. A 3-4-3. So it's a little bit shame that the king died. We will get probably a few offers for royal marriages soon. In fact, we should go and do as many of those as possible. So, first of all, dynastic actions. Let's go and royal marriage up with Castile. We'll wait for our diplomats to come back. Just keeping an eye on what the Burgundian troops are doing. We've got a diplomat back. Who are we missing a royal marriage with? We're guaranteeing Scotland. Do we want to carry on guaranteeing Scotland? I guess we kind of do. Let's go ahead and get royal marriages wherever we can, though, with our existing allies and vassals and everybody else. So we've got another royal marriage over there. It all helps the chances of getting another heir. Looks like they're sending in another stack there. May have to go in and help with that one. No, it doesn't look like they're going directly in for it. It looks like they're actually coming down here. Right, let's detach a siege and throw some units down. Looks like we might... Yeah, we have actually missed that one, but we should catch them before they leave. Now, they're actually sending a stack up here towards Picardy. I'm going to get out of there straight away. Would have been nice to complete that siege, but it wasn't worth losing units for it. You're going to try and intercept me, but you actually went ahead and missed. Let's go ahead and group you together and go in and help Castile over there. At least we haven't broken the siege on their capital, which is going to help things immensely. It's another skirmish one. Let's go in there. We should catch them. Hopefully. And we did. And then we can go back into Picardy and start to try and siege out there as well. So let us now go and see if we can get some more mercenaries. We're just going to concentrate on infantry, mainly because we seem to have an awful lot of cavalry, and that isn't helping matters at all. Would be nice to boost the stability up, but I guess we've got the admin points to do that. It is a little bit expensive doing it while you are at war. 150 is not too bad. Let's just go ahead and do that, because it will give us more tax. So in the long run, we'll actually get more money from doing that, so it's well worth having it. Would be nice if Castile actually went and just started stat wiping some of them. Unfortunately, I don't have enough units to safely carpet siege. Looks like Charlet's about to fall, which would be really nice. Got my extra guy there. And we actually got up to -6 now. It did go down to like -20 something at one point. So the war score isn't terrible. So we can gain 50 administrative power for 0.5 inflation, or we can just gain 10. I'm just going to gain the 10 because I don't need a massive amount of it right now. We already have a load of inflation because we've already got so many loans going, and that's going to cost us in the long run. But as soon as we can get out of this war, and then we can start actually paying off some of the loans, we can start teching up. It's always a very, very difficult time for France right at the beginning of the game because France is fragmented. You've got loads of these vassals. You've got the problems that you might have a battle with England. You might have a battle with Burgundy. You might have a battle with Castile. So you've got all these different wars that you could end up getting involved in, which is a real pain. I see these guys are about to throw down. Nope, they've changed their mind. I still really want to take out Picardy. Oh, you're actually going in there, are you? Oh, no, we won that one. I should have just left a siege there, really. And in fact, I think I will. I think I'll detach a... Hang on, let's group them all up. Group together, detach a siege. And then we will move the main guys over here. Because we do want to try and take Rethel as well. Only at -1% war score now. See, we had a bad start. We were going to renew war taxes again. So it's going to be an expensive war. And it puts France off to a slow start. But once we're out of this war, we're going to be teching up. We are going to be taking some extra land through diplomacy where we can. We're going to be integrating our vassals, which will help us an awful lot. So don't worry too much about the bad start. Most importantly, we're going to be getting our manpower back, which is going to help a great deal. Some of these sieges are taking a little while. Their capital's actually on -7. It's certainly getting there. Nevers is also getting there as well. Calais flipped this siege over to me. So we'll try and take as much from them in terms of land as possible. We will end up with a lot of aggressive expansion, but the sooner we can take a big chomp out of Burgundy, the less we're going to have to worry about them later on. Unfortunately, a few of these provinces are actually part of the HRE, so taking these will put us in a little bit of hot water with Austria later on, but I'm not worried too much about that. Looks like this army's just going around and smashing people. Venice won military access. Who are you at war with, Venice? Venice. You are at war with Ragusa. Do I want to let you do that? Am I that bothered? I'll let you through. I don't really care. Yeah, you just go around stack stomping. That's fine by me. And obviously, trade is being hurt a little at the moment because I don't have any trade fleets around. A lot of that is caused because Burgundy have quite a significant navy. It's nothing to be sniffed at. Bear in mind, Burgundy is the nation that will later form Holland if allowed to. So it does mean that they usually end up with quite a... I mean, they start with the Holland province, so you usually end up with quite a significant navy if I'm out in the water, I'm going to get all my ships wrecked, basically. Although Brittany has quite a decent fleet. That's not too bad. They are sieging out part of... We're getting attacked here, although it is being reinforced. So we can lose 5 prestige. And for 5 years, we can have an increased mercenary cost and reduced number of mercenaries. Or we can lose 10 prestige and one place can get... +3 local unrest. I think we'll go for the +3 local unrest. I mean, we're relying on mercenaries at the moment because we don't have any manpower, so we've got to be careful. We're actually into positive war score now. So even though things didn't start off well, we're winning this war. You know, Burgundy has no army. We have some of their provinces sieged. They have none of our provinces sieged. We are winning this war. They're going to keep reinforcing here and there. But we have Castile on our side. If we're going to have a quick look at Burgundy, they have 5,000 manpower and 4,000 men, so they are not doing very well at all. We're in a very similar situation to what I was in. We've actually sieged out Artois, even though it wasn't ourselves that was taking it. Here's that same event again. So we'll have local unrest again in Artois. So a little bit of a pain. We are going to try and peace out from this war as soon as we can. But we do want to, at the very least, try and take out Picardy. If I only get to take one province in this entire war, I want to take Picardy because it removes a coastline for them, it gives me an extra bit of coast, and it joins Calais up. So it will make it easier for me to defend. If I can take some of these provinces down here afterwards, I will. Because if I can isolate their capital, then that means they'll probably move their capital up here somewhere. Let's repay that loan. And if they do move their capital up here somewhere, that means in the subsequent war, we'll be able to go ahead and take out Burgundy, which will be quite nice. We could also take it even if it is still their capital, and it's just that if it's one province on its own, we can take it, but it will be the only thing we'd be able to take in that war. But we're certainly going to go and take out as much as possible. I'm going to do as much damage to them as possible anyway. So at 21% war score now. Despite losing a lot of very, very early battles. The money's coming in a little bit. I haven't really reinforced anything. There we go. They're actually starting to make peace offers now. We've actually sieged out all of this area down here, including their capital. That's really, really going to hurt them. Let's start marching forward and sieging out some more of their provinces. Remember, they don't have any allies in this war. They are still the only people involved in it on their side. Let's recall the diplomat. Do we need any more royal marriages? I don't think we have them everywhere. Armagnac, we don't have... You'll have to excuse me because I can never remember which one of these provinces belongs to who. We can go ahead and royal marry you. That is great. Won the siege of Picardy. That is great. Right, Castile have actually peaced out here. So this is where we have to be a little bit careful. Let's go ahead and marry up with Foix. Yeah, Castile have peaced out at this point. So let's... detach you, and you're going to go ahead. I think that's the province we're fighting in. Another royal marriage. I'm just going to bring the speed down a tick, because now I don't have Castile watching my back. I'm a little bit worried that the Burgundian armies might get a little bit aggressive. Still want to make sure that we siege out Rethel. So I think what I'll do with this stack here is I'll just keep this stack going around and basically trying to stomp down any Burgundian armies that may sort of pop up. So we'll allow things to tick on. Like I said, I still want to try and siege out Rethel. That I'd like to take. Artois I'm not too bothered about. I'd like to take it if I can, but it's not actually part of the French region, so I don't technically need it. I can hire a free military leader. Not a bad idea. Let's just go ahead and crush this stack. This is mainly what I'm going to use this little army for here, just to go around and stack crush. Right, I think I can speed it back up again. Let's go back up to speed 3. There's not an awful lot that's going to go on. They might be able to pop up the occasional unit here and there. So I'll certainly keep my eye open. See, there's one. Let's just go ahead and crush him. Because this unit is mainly cavalry, we can get it nice and easy. Let's repay that loan. There's another loan that we can't afford to get, so we're going to have to re-extend that. So it's going to take us a little while to get out of all of the inflation and stuff that we've got. But overall, we're actually... I'm surprised how much this war turned around. It was a little bit annoying at the beginning, because we did actually lose quite a lot of units. There's another siege over. Just go over and siege out Luxembourg. Why not? But that's probably a good point to end this video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Europa Universalis IV. And I'll see you on the next episode. So until then, goodbye for now.